If I were to ask you, do you recognize the names Jochebed and Amram? What would you say? They're two amazing parents, and especially the wife who had the wisdom of God in raising up a giant of faith. They were actually the parents of Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. In the book of Exodus, chapter 2, we read how when Moses was born, the Pharaoh had wanted all male children to be killed. But yet, Jochebed, she kept Moses for 3 months. And then one day, she couldn't anymore. She took the baby, made a basket, and then sent the baby down the river Nile. She had the wisdom of God to send the baby while the Pharaoh's daughter had come to bathe. And the story is where the daughter finds the baby, and then Jochebed ends up looking after the baby. And we may not have heard of her name before. We may not even realize where in the Bible her name is mentioned. But we do see that her little act of faith raised up a giant of faith and saved a nation. She is named in Numbers chapter 26, verse 59. She and her husband also made it to the giants of faith in Hebrews chapter 11, where it says, by faith, Moses, when he was born, was hidden for 3 months by his parents because they saw the child was beautiful and they were not afraid of the king's edict. See, Jochebed and Amram had faith in God. They believed that their son would be saved by the Lord, and they did what they could. They were pushed into a situation, but in that situation, they reached out in faith. And the encouragement I have for you today is, don't dismiss those little acts of faith. Sometimes we may not realize the fruit that little act of faith may bring forth. One day, when you are in heaven, someone may come to you and say, thank you for praying for me. Or thank you for sharing the gospel with me. And you may go, but I didn't even know you. But they would say, you prayed and I was saved. You shared and I accepted Christ. So don't ever dismiss those little acts of faith. As parents, a special encouragement for you. Daily, sow a seed of faith. Sow a seed of faith over your children. Sometimes you will have those frustrations, especially during the teenage years. You may think, would my kids ever follow the Lord? But remember, your seeds of faith matter, and your seeds of faith will produce fruit. Sometimes you may not be alive to see them, but yet you have been faithful in what God has entrusted you. It's interesting, the name Jochebed means the glory of Jehovah. And she is the first person in the scriptures who has a compound name of God within her own name. She was an amazing woman, not known much, but her son is known by many. A mighty man of God, a redeemer for Israel, a savior for a nation, all because his mother and father decided to act in faith. So would you even do that today for your own children, but also for those around you?